Hey guys, well, I'm on lunch break. I came home for lunch real quick. And this morning, How Deep O2 texted me and asked if I had seen what leaked on the internet about the Age of Ultron number 10, these spoilers. Apparently, somebody somewhere leaked the book onto the internet a day before it comes out. And with Angela appearing, Neil Gaiman's character from Image that he won in court after a 10-year battle, more or less, was popping up in Marvel, I just had to look. So, yeah, number one, this is spoilers. The book comes out tomorrow while I'm recording this. So I'm going to read what they said, and then I'm going to give you some thoughts real quick, and I'll try to make a quick video because, like I said, I've got to eat. Alright, this is from GameFAQs.com. Alright, here's the spoilers as followed for Age of Ultron number 10. Future Pym gives present-ish Pym a code that will destroy Ultron. Bendis-era Avengers fight the Intelligentsia. Then Ultron wakes up. Pym uploads the program into Ultron as he fights the Avengers. Ultron thinks he's got it beat, but it activates some replicating virus thing that shuts him down. Then Thor busts him into pieces. Sue and Wolverine return to the normal present. Then everything starts to hiccup. Pages of characters filling the space-time continuum. Yeah, they need to learn to spell. Effing up. We need to see people. We then see people from 2099 stuff and MC2 stuff, like Femme Captain America and 2099 Doom. Things are somewhat normal. Nothing's changed except Wolverine's actions have caused tears in the multiverse and such. But hey, we now have an official explanation for every plot hole and continuity ever. It's all Wolverine's fault. So yeah, other universes are starting to bleed into another. In the Ultimate Universe, Miles is swinging around until his multiversal hiccups cause him to land on a roof and looking up at Galactus, as in 616 Galactus. Ladies and gentlemen, the premise of Hunger... No, really, Hunger is Galactus coming to devour Ultimate Marvel Earth. Hank and Tony are talking about how he could have effed things up royally with Ultron, but now he discovers where Ultron went wrong. And this pretty much leads into that crappy comic that Sam Humphries will write. That's their quote, not mine. The ending, a page of a woman talking, not knowing how she ended up in the 616 universe. Next page, it's Angela and she vows to kill whoever brought her here. Yep. Okay, so, when I read that, and if this is accurate, let me get rid of this. I started thinking while I was just working away and stuff like that, and sounds an awful lot like Crisis on the Infinite Earth if we go there. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, for you guys that don't know, Crisis on Infinite Earth, came back like in '85, and I find it real hard that Marvel would even try to touch, Crisis, and since it wouldn't be original, and surely, they wouldn't try to repeat history or try to do their thing on it, especially with mice, I mean, there's no way Marvel would do that, and this started getting me thinking, when, to me, DC had Blackest Night that came out a few years ago. There was a big crossover and stuff. And what was cool about it is that, like, it directly got built up from a story that Alan Moore did in Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. They took a little short story he did in here with a few aliens, a few concepts, a few demons on this planet that had been wiped out and they're in prison there, and Green Lanterns weren't allowed to go there and stuff. And took the prophecy and gave Abin Sur a little seed of fear that grew up in. He ended up like, Jeff Johns just, I talked about it the other day. Jeff Johns pretty much built his whole Green Lantern run for 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, whatever it was, leading up to Blackest Night. Now, that was cool. But then I started thinking, Marvel may have unintentionally done this with another concept by Alan Moore, which I thought was cool, and a lot of great writers, they predicted things like the submarine and a lot of other concepts. Star Trek, we got cell phones and Velcro and all this stuff that, great literature kind of predicts the future even when they don't mean to. H.G. Wells and Jules Verne, and now it looks like Alan Moore may have joined those ranks. Because, like, in a book that came out in around 2000. Alan Moore put out an ABC line, America's Best Comics. And this was sort of an apology letter for what Watchmen had taken out the innocence and fun of comics back in the 80s and stuff. So he came out with a line of comics that were supposed to be fun. And one of the books that he came out with was Top 10, and it's heroes done Hill Street Blues style. It's this city where everybody has superpowers, but they have the same laws. They just all happen to have superpowers. So don't use your superpowers unless you're an officer. And they get called out to a part of the city where I'll probably put this page up at the very beginning. Or at the end of this video, we'll see. And they get called out to an apartment where this, I think an old lady is like flipping out and stuff. And it turns out that when they walk in, we see the debut of Galactapuss, who has a bunch of, he's a cat, and there's other cats there. But you see all these little superhero mice, these rodents and stuff. And you see Fantastic Four, and you see Captain America, and he's looking at a version of Eternity, and hopefully that's why I want to put the picture up, because this is years, and I mean over a decade before Disney was bought up by Marvel. And if you know who Eternity is the embodiment of the universe, of the Marvel universe. You know, he is the universe. We live deep down inside of him, and he's got mouse ears because Galactapuss is a cat, so he must be a mouse, and he's got Mickey Mouse ears. So this is from 2000. And there's this big, huge crisis coming over them. Let me read a little bit what the heroes have to say about it. As the two cops are walking up the steps, you know, they meet an officer that's already there and says that there's complications. Oh man, I don't want to hear that. I got to move my mom back in. She makes me nuts. Well, look for yourself. See, Ultramice, they behave sort of like regular science guys. Get enough science animals together, and it's a big event. Next thing, it escalates, and you get a whole secret crisis war crossover thing going. And then cosmic powers get involved, and you know how it is. He's like, oh geez, and they walk in, and there it is. It's difficult keeping up with the cross continuity, but I think Cosmouse, that's Eternity, just gave the Saturnine Scrap Hunter his ultimate pacifier to use against Galactapuss. And they go back and forth, and the guy's just sort of like, you know. One of the cops looks at him and goes, that's got to be the most effed up thing I've ever seen. No, it ain't. My sex life sleeping next door to my mom. That's the most effed up thing you ever seen. Hey, it's all going to be over soon. And then that guy goes, you heard what he said. Pretty soon we could have a parallel world, critters involved, and mice from different time periods and stuff. You know, we're screwed, buddy. Well, listen, my cousin Lurleen's got the Scott dog with heat vision, okay? Anyway, her dogs, then when they power, because no dogs, no nothing. Jesus, this is insane. Come on, let's get back to the precinct. And they just walk away from it and don't want to think about it. You know, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about the whole Age of Ultron 10 thing now, because I've already ordered it and I'll get tomorrow. So all I got to say is that, you know, long live the mice, long live the mouse, long live Galactapuss.